Welcome to Monday night's episode of the Blitz Pickup. It's Victory Monday, y'all. You know who I am. Unfortunately, I am sick again. We gonna make it through. We have a Week 11 game recap to go over. We won in overtime against a down bad Commanders team who was missing some people. And of course, after the game, we can't just have any sort of normal Sunday because Tua made some interesting comments at the podium yet again. Tony, come on up.
Listen. Like we can't keep doing it. Like you that down bad because of the win that it make you that sick that you actually you actually don't feel good. Like this team make you feel that bad.
I woke up this morning and I was like,
You was
there's no
you was
way. I
like
was
we
just sick. Like, this
you was
team won
like you
yesterday. I should be like joyous.
you like, man, listen, man. They messed up the tank. This team make me so sick. And you woke up
I
not
had like
feeling
an
well.
honorary surf side, like
Oh,
I'm
you
like
know what?
this.
That could have been what it was. You putting up them search sides on the stream, and they're not sponsors. See what I'm saying? That's karma coming back. What's
It
good,
must be
Jess?
something.
The road to 10-7 is here, dogs. Dre, yeah, the delusion is there.
Power of friendship.
Yeah. I guess he was better off saying that. Yo, what's good, Jess? Tony H. Lewis, and the producer in the
What's up,
back.
Bonzo?
I don't know where Lewis at, man. Every time I seen to have some smoke for him, he want to run. I don't know. No, I'm tripping now. My dog, he had got a mercy call at work. He should be putting up a little later. But hey, you got to take care of business, man. Bills come first. The road to the middle of the draft starts now. Thank you, 987.
That's crazy.
Tell Jess to pull up. Nah, man. Nah.
We're not doing that today. Jess is under the weather again.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I think she using that now. If she used PTO in the next episode, y'all already know what this means. She try.
And like
you already got a built-in excuse.
See, and now it's just gonna look bad because the Sixers play on Wednesday, and I was
See, I know.
And like now, like this just looks terrible. I could have gone great, and I was gonna go tonight. I really wanted to see James Harden in the Clippers, but
James Harden.
Yeah,
Who watches James Harden?
I am. I'm watching him right now. He's on my team.
That's probably why you're sick.
PG returned tonight.
You watching a bunch of trash.
I should have went tonight, but it's okay. We're gonna, maybe on Wednesday.
Who's
got a little bit of PTO today. I might, use a little bit of PTO Wednesday.
You have a show. you have the show to do on Wednesday. We don't care about no 76 or whatever that stuff is you got going on, man. We don't want to care about all that. But anyway, let's get into the show.
Let's get it. So
I got some notes here for y'all.
Yeah, I'm sure you
kick
have
her
plenty.
Off the show expeditiously.
Sorry, I'm not Alex. I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, Dre.
God damn it! I like the way you do business.
Like the way you thinking, Dre.
Down, bad.
I like the way you thinking, my boy. Get her out of here.
That's some nasty work.
All right, what we got
though? We won. It's Victory Monday. Is it a true Victory Monday though? But all right. So Victory Monday, right? We won overtime 16-13 in Madrid. How do you feel about this win? Are you happy with it?
I don't listen, man. You two down. Like we are back. Listen, we got. See, y'all be hating on the excitement, like y'all just with this Debbie Downer stuff, man. Listen, what that is? 3 in a row. We started off 1-7. We are 4-7. 3 games in a row. Y'all gotta start putting some respect on this team for not quitting on Mike McDaniel. We got a bye week, so we gonna get healthy. We got some players coming back allegedly, and on top of that, we got who we got after the bye week. We got the Saints. I know you ain't scared of the Saints. I know you're not. We got the Jets after that, I believe. And then who else we got after that? Dang, I gotta see. Well, anyway, we got 3 winnable. Oh, and the Pittsburgh Steelers with Aaron Rodgers got a broke wrist. So listen, before it's all said and done, we might be 6-7 Then that was, then that's when the that's right. I can't. You muted.
I was muted. It's not 3-0, isn't it 2-0? We lost against the
No.
Ravens, then we beat the Bills, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Well, you stop rating on my
2.
parade. You see what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
just saying.
tomato, semantics.
I gotta bring down the delusion a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay?
you crypto at this point. Semantics. Come on, man. You know what
Actually,
I mean.
can you move me to the other side because I don't like being on the left.
Three out of the we won 3 out of our last 4. How about that? That's better for you.
There you go. That's better. Thank you.
Yeah. So like, let's relax. Nah, let me start. All jokes aside. All jokes aside. Listen, I would say that wasn't impressive. Obviously, if y'all was here with us, shout out to all y'all that was here with us. It was watching 2 bad teams. I think the most disappointing part about it is that they were short-handed. No Jaden Daniels, right? Cameron Payne was out. So they 2 best player on offense, best player on defense was out. Terry McLaurin was out. And someone in a secondary. I think 1 or 2 of their secondary. Anyways, they weren't healthy to say the least. And let's be real. It took a missed field goal for us to beat them. So I would say I leave that game feeling like they lost the game. We didn't win. Like they lost the game. I'll keep it like that, right? I remember when we were playing the Ravens, and I was like, it feels like we are outplaying the Ravens right now. It feels like we're outplaying them because we was winning in every category. The first half, I'm sorry, let me be more specific. In the first half, we was winning in every category except for the win column and turnovers, right? So, yeah, I would say, listen, we had no. Hey, look at you. It's funny how Tony only bring up the injuries on other teams' side, but neglect to mention ours. What injuries you want me to bring up? You want to bring up James Daniel? You want to bring up Austin Jackson? And you want me to bring up who else? Tyreek? That's who you want me to bring up? Game Boy 305? I just want to know before I move forward. If that's who you want me to bring up, because that's cool. So we was missing Tyreek. Injuries we have on our team. I just gave you the name. Those are the injuries we have on our team. So we're missing Tyreek. They were missing Terry McLaurin. Right? They was missing Cameron Payne. We was missing Austin. No, let's say James Daniel, because Cameron Payne played tackle. Right? And then we were missing Austin Jackson on our offensive line. And then the rest of theirs are they didn't have Jaden Daniel. Water came in injured, so I don't count Water because Water came in injured. He didn't play the first 2, and we picked him up late. So I don't really count him. But if you want to add that in, add all that in. There was a 3-17 that their defense was trash, atrocious. It was trash, right? And then their franchise quarterback goes down. Did we have our franchise quarterback? Game Boy, that's a boy, right? Did we have a franchise quarterback? Actually, their starting running back was down too. I forgot about that. They were without their running back. They had injuries in the running backs too. But did we have our franchise quarterback? Yes, we did. They was without their franchise quarterback. Were we a better team with all the injuries? Weren't we the better team going in? Who had the better running back? Who had the better receiver? Who had the better quarterback going into that game? Who had the better defense going into that game? I believe we did. In every aspect, we had the better everything. Our team was better. Plus, we had just came off, right? With the same team, we just came off beating the shoes off of Buffalo. Blow the doors off them. Defense played lights out. Offense played fairly well. They didn't create no turnovers. We had a fairly good game, right? Nice dime to Waddle by Tua. You know, nice touchdown to Malik Washington by Tua. You know, very efficient game. And we beat the bully. Beat him down. Now, you tell me which team you think is better. That Buffalo team that we beat down or the Washington Commander team? I'll wait, right? So yes, this is why I think that was not an impressive win. We got the job done, but on top of that, what it took for us to get that win. Now, going into the game, I was like, man, I'm kind of nervous because I'm excited about going in there to win because I feel like we have the better team, right? And I feel like we just came off of beating Buffalo, so we should go in there and dominate, especially considering their injuries. But then Lou, my co-host, shout out to Lou when he pulled up, right? Lou posed a question like, yo, Tony, let me ask y'all a question. With all that, with everything that just happened coming off beating Buffalo, things of that nature, do you think the Dolphins are going to take this trip as a business trip or a vacation? And that's when I was like, And then I answer the question and I say, well, now let me pose a question too. And I posed one to Jess and him. And I said, are the Dolphins in a position to overlook someone at 3-7? And I was like, man, I'm kind of afraid that that might happen. We might overlook those guys. Kind of afraid for that. And lo and behold, that we went in that game and it looked like we were sleepwalking. Now, the offense was moving the football fairly well from 20 to 20, but when we got into the red zone, that's when our failures start to happen. And that's when we start to, just not do too well, and that wasn't a good sign. Even through all the positives, we saw they weren't finishing the drive. And you have to finish drives in this league. And I remember I kept saying when we were kicking the field goals, I say, this is like it was 6-6. Like, we were exchanging field goals. And I'm like, this is what happened when you let teams. This is the definition of letting teams linger and hang around to where they can come back and beat you at the end because you didn't complete drives. You didn't put them away early and you didn't just get them out the way. And that was what happened. Now, one thing, it was what I want to point out some numbers to y'all. They led us in every category. They led us in first downs. They had 22 to our 19. They had a better third down percentage. They were 6 of 13. We was 3 out of 9. They had more total yards than us, 379 to 311. Right? They had more rushing yards than us, 172 to 169. They did have more penalties. They had six penalties for 31 yards to our 4 penalties for 39 yards. So we had less penalties, but it cost us more yardage. And time of possession, they beat us. They led us in time of possession with 32 minutes and 36 seconds to our 29 minutes and 51 seconds. Right? So that kind of reminded me of what I was talking about this team when it came to that Baltimore game, when I felt like we was leading in every category without playing them. The only category that we was losing in was turnovers and the scoreboard. And lo and behold, they beat us. They were beating us in every category where they actually finished the game, beating us in every category except for turnovers and scores. I mean, I'm sorry, Baltimore we were beating them in every category except for turnovers and points. I'm sorry. And then the same thing happened this game. They were leading us in every category except for turnovers and points, which they were up for the most part of that game because it was 13-6 for almost the whole game. And then they end up losing the game by 3 points, obviously in overtime, but they led in all those categories. So technically, they outplayed us. Technically, if we're going to keep it 100 and we're going to be real, they outplayed us. Now, There's a such thing because I hear some people saying, "Yo, it's just things that's ugly losses." That was an ugly loss. I'll give it to you. That wasn't a good loss. That was an ugly loss. I mean, an ugly win. I'm sorry. That was an ugly win. And teams, the good teams, they tend to learn how to win when they're not at their best. So you want to point out something, a good sign. Good teams win when they don't have their best game, but they find a way to win the game. Right? So if you want to use that, okay, cool. But me, from my personal standpoint, I would like to point out the fact that it took for them to miss a field goal for us to win that game. See, they missed the field goal. If they kick that field goal, we're not talking about it. We're not going to overtime. So I do want to point that out so people could understand why I'm not as pleased or I'm not as happy as some people with the victory, right? And then let me also add this in. Look at, because I know we over here, we say, hey man, listen, we was at 1-7. Every loss is a victory, and that's how we was looking at it. Which, right, you want to get if you're going to go out, man, you might always get the highest draft capital that you can, from my standpoint. However, if you want to take a deeper dive and look at it, guess what? When you look at like, what draft prospect do you really want to go out there? I'm not convinced with these quarterbacks. Like, I know Francisco Mendoza, Lewis is a big fan of Francisco Mendoza. I think Mendoza is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's good. But am I trading up for him? No. Do I want to be in a position to pick him top 5? No, because I'm not convinced in that aspect of it. He doesn't blow me away. Now, if we are in that position, we grab him, yes. But outside of Mendoza, I'm sorry, who else do y'all want to say, okay, let's lose all these games for? Right? Who else? No, I don't see, like, some people said Caleb Downs, but you really want to spend a top 5 pick on a safety? I'm not so sure about that. I think we could focus on building this team. We need cornerbacks. I'm sorry, like a DB, the cornerback. I don't think a lot of people are talking about how we are in dire need of cornerbacks. Averill Reese, that's the linebacker from Ohio State, right? I believe that's the linebacker. I think Jordan Brooks is playing very well. He's playing at a high level right now, to where I'm not, yo, Game Boy 305, shout out. I'm not as convinced that we should go out and spend our first round, a top 5 pick on a linebacker like that. Right? Very good player. Someone put me on. I only watched a little bit. I don't really watch Ohio State like that. I just don't, because I don't see none of those players that we need to go out and get. But someone did put me up on him, and I haven't watched too much film on him. But what I have seen is he seems like him and Caleb Downs. They seem pretty good. I did have my doubts about Caleb Downs at first, which was, I was wondering, why did he switch from Alabama to Ohio State after winning Freshman of the Year? But it was brought to my attention is because Nick Saban. So now I understand a little bit more, because if he just left, I was trying to understand what mentality was that. Like, you at Alabama, you win Freshman of the Year, and now you want to go try to join a super team in Ohio State. But if he was recruited and was under the impression that he was going to be coached by Nick Saban, and Nick Saban retired, then I don't hold that against him. So, I'm not going to hold that against Caleb Downs. And he's a versatile, phenomenal player. But I don't know if y'all cool with spending a top 5 pick on him. I don't know about that. What's up, Eric? I see you in the building. Listen, y'all hit them like buttons. Make sure y'all subscribe. Road to 800 is on the way. Y'all know how we get down over here. But yeah, y'all hit the like button while y'all in here. Now, so with all that being said, I took a step back and say, okay, cool. It'll be cool to get a top 5 pick. It will be, and obviously that's still what I want. But I will be more inclined to use that pick to trade down and gain more draft capital for next year's draft, which looks like a way better draft than this year. And then in that first round, if you go down in the mid rounds, probably now you could probably get you a cornerback, right? And also you probably can also get you, let's say, I don't know, maybe late round, get you a quarterback. I'm a Taylor Green type of guy myself. If you don't want to spend a first round on a quarterback outside of Mendoza, especially if Moore, what is his name? Dante Moore. It's Dante Moore, right? That's his name, the quarterback from Oregon. I think it's Dante Moore. If he decides to go back to school and only Mendoza is there, and you don't want to spend a first round on a quarterback outside of Mendoza, then maybe you gravitate Green in the second round. Or, right, I wouldn't be opposed to using one of those third round draft picks and getting a Drew Allard. He has all the measurables. Haynes King, don't forget about Haynes King, right, at Georgia Tech, right? So they're more valuable options. That guy's a baller. I'll tell you that. He's a ball player. I like winners. One thing I like, I love winners, man. You can't coach that winning mentality. That's one thing. One thing I would say about that Haynes King. That man is a winner out of Georgia Tech. So yeah, and there's options to where I think it won't be as much pressure on that quarterback to come in and save the franchise, especially if it's not one of those guys that you are 100% sold on. And I'll take that in consideration, right? Also, we don't know from the look of things, especially if the team keep going how they are right now, which is win more games than we initially thought they would. I won't be so sure if they 100% going to move off a Tua. Right now, it's not conducive. Not even right now. We're $99.8 million cap hit, dead cap hit. No front office, no owner, no GM. No one wants to take that type of hit, right? And I know you have some people that are completely done with Tua. I'm one of the people completely done with Tua. Like, I'm done. I don't think he could bring us Super Bowl. I don't think he's one of those. I don't think he's one of those guys that we could win a Super Bowl with, right? But I'm also not going to act like Mike McDaniel haven't got some great stuff out of him. So no matter what direction we go, right? Yeah, I know Game Boy 305, you're not off a tour. You think he still could win with him. Cool. Hey, you fan the way you want to fan. But also what I was going to say is no way I could take another season of them running this back. You know what? See, Eric, and I want to point that out. There's also people like that have that mindset to say, man, I'm not willing to deal with that. I'm not willing to deal with that. And I respect that. He'll be the quarterback until 2027 because of his contract. Right. That's what I'm saying, Keegan Watkins. And the thing about that is, let's just go. I think I've done it on this channel already, but let's just go through both of the scenarios. You have one scenario where you're running back with him, and you got people that's going to be absolutely tired of that and don't want to deal with that again, right? But then with that means you're bringing Mike McDaniel back, possibly, because if you try to bring in a head coach, what, you going to force Tua on him? I don't think that'll be a smart decision. So then you have that there, and then what are you going to do with the GM? Are you going to force Mike McDaniel into it on the GM? That's not an ideal situation either. But then look at the other side. What if you do move off of him, one or two of them? If you move off of Tua, most likely you're probably going to move off of Mike McDaniel as well, and you let your new GM bring in his guys. But then he's starting off with a $99.8 million dead cap hit for one player. And that's not counting all the other contracts. So he's in a less than ideal situation no matter which way you turn. So the Dolphins are in a messed up situation. So I think it's just the less of both evils. Whichever one you think is the less of both evils, if you're cool with getting rid of them and hoping a GM wants to come and deal with that, I don't know. Armando says, so I can go ahead and tune out next year. I'm not saying, Armando, listen, I'm not saying what you should do. I'm just giving you the scenarios that we're faced with as fans and the Miami Dolphins are faced with as the front office. This is the type of thing that we have to deal with. like, let's just keep it 100. This is the type of thing that we're going to have to deal with. We're in a bad situation. We don't know what could possibly happen. So we got to look at it from that standpoint and be like, okay, which direction we're going to go into, right? And then, okay, cool. But, to back to the game, because y'all got me sidetracked. I think obviously you take a win, have you could get them. You have to at least give credit for that. Even though it was unimpressive, I wasn't impressed at all. But it was a win is a win, and I think we have to continue to come and give credit to Mike McDaniel and this team for not quitting on Mike McDaniel, because I know a lot of us was 100% sure that this team was going to quit on Mike McDaniel, especially sitting at 1-7. So when we were all out here hoping and praying for that, we have to give credit when credit is due. That team did not have, up until this day, they still haven't quit on Mike McDaniel. You have to give that man some kudos for that and this team. Now, they haven't been playing the best of football outside of that Buffalo. That Buffalo was a pretty good game. But they haven't been playing the best of football, but they've been winning. They've been fighting, and they haven't quit. And as a fan, at least the mindset, because we always preach mindset here, at least with that type of mindset, that type of mentality, that's a step in the right direction. But, I'm not going to ignore the fact that, we skated off by the skin of our teeth on that one. So we have to keep it 100% all across the board. Team didn't quit on Tua either. Man, this man here. All right, boy. You're going to find a way to give Tua some kind of credit. Don't worry, we're going to talk about Tua and his comments a little later, Gameboy 305. But yeah, the team has to quit. You gotta give credit. Give credit where credit is due. But that wasn't an impressive win, because if the Commanders just go ahead and kick that and make the field goal, man, we having a whole different conversation. But listen, that's part of football. That is part of football. Yeah, Mike still has the locker room, but I don't like the foot and goal call. Don't worry, we get into that. Eric says, yes, they haven't quit, but it's still the same miscues, inconsistency, etc. Yes, some of those things are starting to rear their ugly head again, especially the miscues. That terrible fourth down and 1 that forced us to kick the field goal. The drive before last, that what it was, a false start. I think it was a false start or something happened. Legal procedure or something went wrong. I think it was in the motion, I think it was. Something like that. And it looked like Adi Gordon fought for that fourth down. To me, it seemed like he got that 4th and 1. And that would have gave us another 4th down. But instead of 4th and 1 or 1st and 10, it was a holding. Okay, Keegan. Instead of 4th and 10, now you backed in. I mean, instead of 4th and 1, now it's at 4th and 10 or 4th and 11, and you're forced to kick a field goal. So those type of things are still happening. But you know what? It happens all over the league. It's just that Mike McDaniel started off so bad in those categories that every time it happens, it's magnified because we're tired of it, right? And we're like, man, here this go again. And not understanding that those type of things, penalties happen in every team, in every game, right? So you could go in every game. Rarely would you ever see, if any time, you're going to go and look at a box score and see no penalties from a team. It just don't happen. So, okay, that those type of things happen. But, they're winning. They're playing hard for them. Some people was 100% off of Mike McDaniel. Some people were 100% off of Tua. But they're showing as a team that they're not quitting on themselves and they're not quitting on Mike McDaniel. So, it is what it is. And if you heard Achane and Bradley Chubb, they was like, hey, listen, man, we are in a delusion that we can win out. So they believe in themselves. Regardless of what we think on the outside looking in, the only thing that matters is how those players feel in that locker room and how Mike McDaniel feel. I made it just got off of work.
I highlighted this for a reason.
Go ahead.
I just want to say Mike Best all week taunted me talking about some see you Sunday. Sit down, the adults are in the room, belt to ass. Sit down. Just saying. Carry on. I could recover for that one. I was waiting for him all day. I was like, all right, man, take your little 75 points and sit your fantasy self down. Bye. Sit down, Mike Best. Do not come for me where you are not welcome. Sit down.
Don't worry about it, Mike Best. She beat me too in fantasy. I can't even listen, man. But God, dog, she said grown folks are talking. Go sit at the kiddie table. It's wow. Hey, yo, she said go sit.
That revolver don't miss.
That revolver, God.
I wish my brother was here to witness that.
Man, Lou, if you watching, yo, she just hit him with the man. Listen here. Belt to ass. God, dog. She told that boy, go sit down. You grown ups are talking. Go sit at that kiddie table, my boy. But what I was saying, oh yeah, so the team not quitting, things of that nature. But yeah, Jess, this is to wrap it up about my post-game recap. Victory. You take victories however you want, but over here, Mike Best has left the chat. Mike Best left the chat. But yeah, you take your victories, but over here, we don't sugarcoat anything, right? We have to give 100%. Yeah, it was a good victory, but we have to point out what we can improve upon. And I think that's just being fair, because the only way you get better is you always find something that you can improve upon, and you always get better every day. You seek and try to get better all the time, anytime, in victories, in loss, in ties, whatever. Victory, defeat, you find a way to get better. When Walter get back, we turn stuff up for real. We was playing with him. He was in the game when we was losing, so he wasn't like Walter wasn't here part of that loser streak. So I'll give you that. I mean, take with that what you will. But yeah, good not good victory, but the Dolphins came out with the victory. They was across overseas, whatever, somehow, some way, the football bounced crazy ways sometimes, and we just end up to be on the winning end of that game. So hey, but there's a lot of things that I think we need to work on.
Easily. With all of that being said, obviously as a whole, you kind of described this team, how this game went down. But if you break it down a little bit more, unit-wise, what units do you think, I guess, played the best? Because it was such a slow game. It was really like, I don't know, it just felt so dragged out. If you look at the stats, they're probably a little bit misleading, because Miami, they only gave up 13 points, but they couldn't stop Washington either. And obviously, as you mentioned, Washington being so damaged injury-wise, we still could not stop them. So what units are you, I guess, going to give the game ball to? Or what unit?
I'm not giving out no game balls. I think the special team recovering a fumble, right? He muffed the fumble. We recovered that. I'll say. Now listen, let me explain something to y'all, because the offense they were moving the football, but they couldn't score. So I can't give them I can't say, oh, offense played very well. Like Tua's stats was not really good. Now he didn't have any turnovers. He did what he needed to do to win the game, so we can't complain about that. But they sputtered in the red zone game in and game out, right? I think they were, we was 1-6 in the red zone. We scored 1-6. We had 6 red zone attempts, and we was 1-6. The Commanders were 0-3, I think. The Commander was 0-3. So, but we were 1-6 in red zone. Do you understand how bad that was? Now, going into the game, it was they put out, we was 13 for 13 with scoring touchdowns with red zone attempts. And we left the game 1-6. So that is very telling. So for people, most people were saying that the offense wasn't good because we only put up 16 points. I would say they moved the football fairly well, but they just couldn't seal the deal. And that was a problem. Now, a lot of people, and I've seen a couple of people tweeting and a couple of people posting on X or however you want to say it, right? Talk about thank God for special teams and the defense for winning that game. I would like to point something out to y'all. That defense forced that team to punt one time. One time in the regular, and not overtime, right? In regulation, they punted one time. That's what that defense forced. And they did get. No, that was it. They forced that team to punt one time. Let me tell you all the negatives for the Washington Commander offense. For all y'all to think that the defense played well. One punt, one turnover on downs, one interception, one fumble. So the one punt was pretty good. Okay, you forced them to punt. The turnover down was in their own red zone at the 1 yard line. Y'all forgot? They could have took a field goal. But the defense stood up. They made the play. So I ain't got oh my God, Paulo, stop, bro. Stop hating. So I'm not going to too much complain about that. Okay. They could have kicked the field goal, but they didn't. But that was a turnover on down. That doesn't change the fact that the offense still drove the whole field and got in scoring position. Right? And they was trash. The one interception, it did come in overtime. That one interception was in overtime terrible. So give them that play. They made a play when we needed it in overtime. But the reason why I'm not harping on that too much is because it was the fact that they missed a field goal. That we was in overtime. Which is one of them, which is a missed field goal. So one punt, one turnover down, an interception, a fumble, and a missed field goal. I'm sorry. The fumble was on special teams. Like, I don't get it. So, I'm sorry. That defense did not play well. It says 13 points, but that's because Commanders were shooting themselves in the foot. They were. And let me give you an offensive scenario for us. We punted the ball. This is in the fourth quarter in the crunch time. Punted the ball. Got the fumble. Right? The Commanders fumbled the ball on the punt. We get the ball. 6 plays, 39 yards, turnover on down. We don't capitalize. It was 13-13 at that point. The offense didn't play well. The defense didn't play well. I can't say anyone played well because it was just looking like two bad teams going back and forth. So for me to give someone a game ball, I would say the punt coverage team for recovering the fumble. And y'all know I'm here and I always try to cut Mike McDaniel some slack. I always do. But he didn't call a good game that time. He didn't call a fairly good game. He didn't. Now, I'm not going to over-exaggerate like Lou was doing that because he wanted them to throw the ball on first down. I'm not killing them for that because we was having some success on running the ball. That game was like playing hot potato. Nobody wanted. Now we're complaining about how we win games. Yes. Because the way you get better is, even in wins, you point out things that you could have done better. Bill Belichick have done this for years with the Patriots. Nick Saban's in college. He was a master at that. Oh, you won, but I'm going to point out everything you did incorrect so you don't get complacent. And I think if Mike McDaniel was a coach like that, we wouldn't have came out so flat like we did in Madrid. If he would have pointed out all the negatives and say, listen, we won the game, but we could have did this, and this better. And the Commanders are this, but this is what we need to look forward to. Then our antennas would have been up. Our awareness would have been more up. Isn't that how Green Bay beat us last season? We kept shooting ourselves. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot that game. You know what? Kind of sort of for real. Missing a lot of people. Waddle wide open with a linebacker. Mike Bear say, Tony, how many times did fans give Mike McDaniel shit for not running the ball yet? Now they're mad because he didn't pass enough. You know what, Mike Bear's great point. I'm not, listen, if we going to complain about not running the football and we wanted to run the football, I remember, right, in preseason, when we did the same thing, but we failed, we ran the ball 4 straight times, and we was like, I'm not mad at it. Now we just got to execute it. Y'all remember that? Because I do. I remember that. So I'm not going to complain. You know what, Jess? I'm not going to give a unit game balls. But Pablo Diaz, you know what? I'll take what Pablo Diaz said. And he said, Jack Jones and Achane deserve, he said, Paul's game balls. Right? And out Jack Jones for that turnover, yes, give him a game ball. Achane for the way he played, for sure, give him the game ball. Now, Lou pointed out earlier that Achane should have went out of bounds on that play when it was 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go, because we had the ball 1st and 10. We would have had the ball 1st and 10 with 3 downs to go, and they only had 1 timeout. So I would say this. What I think probably would have happened, right? What I think probably would have happened if he doesn't, like if he kneeled down, Washington Commanders take a timeout. Their only timeout. They burn their only timeout. So you run in a play, and obviously they ran the ball because they stopped. They stuff us. Now it's 2nd down and whatever it is, and it's a 2-minute warning. The clock stops. Now you run the play after the 2-minute warning, and you run out. Let's just say it takes 2-3 seconds. The most you can run off is 40 seconds. So you take it down to, because now it's 3rd down. So you let the clock run out for the 40 seconds. So let's just say it get down to 1 minute and 20 seconds. If it get down to 1 minute and 20 seconds, you run a 3rd down play, right? And then whatever it is, you take 40 seconds off of that on 3rd down. So you're looking at, they got like 40 seconds. They have 40 seconds with no timeouts. Because you kick the field goal right then and there. You go up. So, yeah, you put them in a better situation. But you're not running the full clock out. Right? And the way that off the defense was playing, all they had to do was get in field goal range. And I think that would have been a better scenario. That would have been. So we could put that on Achane. It would have put us in better position. That's not on Mike McDaniel. Now, would I like for Mike McDaniel to constantly remind his players, hey, listen, stay in bounds. Don't go out of bounds. Stay in bounds. Just a reminder. I would like for Tua to say that. Stay in bounds, guys. Guys, remember, when we do this, stay in bounds, right? I put the ownership on the players for that. So that's one blunder that we could have fixed in that game. And then on top of that, game management. Mike McDaniel, I think you was bad at that. So I'll give a game ball to Jack Jones and Achane because, man, Achane made some plays. I'm sorry, but that he had two or three plays to there's 3, 4, 5 players on him, in the backfield, and he just made guys miss and turned a negative 5 yards into like a 4-yard gain on one play. And the other one, he made somebody miss it and gained like 12 yards. So Achane was doing his thing. He was. So that's cool. Tua said that with his eyes. He said what with his eyes? I don't know what he said. But I watched the game back, and it seemed like every officer played the announcer said cornerback Achane name. A cornerback Achane name. I don't know. But I don't think Burrow will have more. Oh, here we go. So yes, so those are two things that we could improve upon. If you really want to be like, if you want to keep it 100, we could improve upon them. So I'm not giving no unit a game ball because I don't think they played well enough for us to give them a game ball. That's what Mike McDaniel do, and that's part of the thing that I don't like. That's part of the things that I don't like about him is everything is all fine and dandy, and at some point you have to, hold people accountable. Tua Achane go out of bounds. No. I said I would have hoped that Tua say don't go out of bounds. Mike McDaniel remind him, don't go out of bounds. Tua as a quarterback, hey, we finna run this play, but Achane do not go out of bounds. Just a constant reminder so players could be up on point. Tight end here was blocking his ass off. Yeah. They offensive line didn't play too well, except for in the crunch time. You can't get killed like that. Like you can't. What's his name? God dog. What's that the guard name? Whatever his name is, I forgot his name. Like he got destroyed, and that's what caused the stop on 4th and 1. Where McDaniel's going for it on 4th and 1. He got destroyed. Cole Strange. Thank you, Green Rat. Cole Strange. You don't get destroyed like that, bro. That was ridiculous. I see. Thank you, Mike Best. You don't get like I disagree with the call, but man, the execution was worse. But my game ball goes to Jets for having more show appearances than Alex. Well, it ain't that easy. It ain't that hard.
Even with my PTO.
But yeah, man. So yeah, Jess, I don't think no one get game ball as far as the unit, but I'll get Achane. Shout out to Pablo. I'll get Achane and Jack Jones the game balls if I had to. But no unit is it.
Okay. So you kind of mentioned this earlier because I know a couple people in the chat have brought it up. Mike McDaniel going for it on 4th down instead of kicking the field goal. When the game was tied 13-13, we know obviously if we would have kicked it, made it, we would have been up 3. Washington getting the ball back with roughly 1:44 left, and they would have had 1 timeout. Making the call that Mike had made at that time. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you not want him to do those things? Because
game ball Washington kicker. You know what? Green Rat, I'm not mad at that. You right. Game ball go to Washington Commanders kicker. I'm not. Hold on, before you finish that, sorry. Keegan Watkins, that was no pass interference. Like, come on, brother. And that's why they gave us the other
that
one.
Stupid call.
Because they owed us one. I'm like, he didn't even touch him. No one touched him. They owed us one, and that's why they gave us that Fugazi one later on in the final, the other drive, because they know that was BS. They know that was BS. Yeah, they did. They let go of the kicker. They sure enough did. Matt Gay got they released him.
Oh, they did? They really did?
Yeah, they released him. Yeah, today. Yeah, the
kicker wasn't paying any attention. Oh man.
Yeah, they released him today. But yeah, go ahead. What you said, Mike McDaniel, because you about to get my blood pressure up right now.
Well, I was done saying what I was going to say, but do you want me to repeat it?
Right, you said Mike McDaniel. Yo, repeat. I'm sorry. Repeat it, please.
I said Mike McDaniel went for it on 4th down instead of kicking a field goal when the game was tied 13-13. We know, obviously, if we kicked the field goal, we would have been up 3. Washington would have gotten the ball back with roughly 1:40 left in the game. and 1 timeout. Was the call that Mike made the right call? Or would you not have? Did you like that call that he did, first of all?
Well, I think that call was absolutely horrific. I don't care what no one says. That was not the right call. I have said multiple times on this platform that analytics is killing the sports. It's killing. I was going to say the game of football, but no, it's killing sports in general. Analytics is killing sports. Like I saw someone post up, based off analytics and based off the possibilities, you had a 3% more chance of winning by going forward than you would have with kicking a field goal. Shut up. What are we talking about? Like, I'm sorry, I'm a little older, I'm 41 years old. Now, me, when I was growing up, there was always a rule: do not chase points. Never chase points. And another rule is always take the points. Like, I don't get that. Kick the field goal. Now, think about this, because they still drove the field and they got into field goal range, right? But that would have been, now if they missed that field goal, guess what? We win in regulation. We win in regulation if you take the field goal. But that, I mind you, I want to remind y'all, that field goal that they was missed was the game-winning field goal, the potential game-winning field goal. That was for the game, because we decided to go for it on 4th down. Now, I did say that the execution was terrible. Yes, the execution was terrible. But Mike McDaniel, you go for it. I mean, you kick the field goal, take the points. Don't make a bonehead decision like that. I think that was a terrible call. And I know people would say, oh, but if he would have made it, then no one would have been complaining. I would have. I would be like, listen, he made it, but I think that still was a foolish decision. When I was calling it live, I was saying, man, I don't like that. I was like, what is he thinking about? What are we doing here? Take the points. Like, I don't even understand why we use so much analytics and so many numbers and EPAs and pie charts and all this foolishness that's killing the sports. Like, it's killing the game. Like, man, what about common sense? Forget about a EPA and a percentage and analytics. What about common sense? You kick the field goal, you go up, now you put all the pressure on them. Now, I was pointing out, this is with a defense that have yet to show that they can stop this offense. 1 punt. Before overtime, they had 1 punt. They had 1 turnover on down, but that was in the red zone. That's all the defense. Think about that. This is what you was going up against. And you choose to go for on 4th and 1 instead of kicking the field goal. And then shout out to Mark. I don't know if he's in here. Shout out to Mark. But he was saying, oh, we have 3-7. I'm not mad at it because we was 3-7. And I said, that's the mentality that I don't want to have. Because you have to play the game like you would play whether you're 3-7 or 7-3. Because you got to use in-game situations to teach your team how to be in those situations. So how are you going to know how your defense are going to react when you are up by 3 because you just kicked the field goal and you need them to stop an offense from getting the field goal range with what it was, like a minute, what would it have been, like a minute and 20 seconds or something like that? With like a little less than a minute and a half to go. How are you going to know how your defense are going to react if you don't put them in that situation? And this is the difference between winning franchise and losing franchises. It made no sense to me. They made it to our 12, 27, 38-yard line during the game. Right. Yeah, that's right, Eric. I see you say it's crazy how coaches complicate the game. Yes. Like, I don't get it. You're complicating everything. And you're going against a backup quarterback. Yes, I don't care. But you put your defense in that position so they know how to react. And guess what? Even if they don't execute well enough to stop them, you have it on film. It's a teaching moment. I'm sorry. You go in overtime regardless. And then, if you win, whatever, you can teach something. Hey, listen, defense, when you go, this is what I need you to do. Anthony Weaver, okay, I see in those type of plays, this is what I would do different next time. Learning from your past mistakes. But if you don't put them in those type of situations, how do you expect them to be ready? This is why our team, when it go and get tough, and it's not only this regime, but every regime, when it comes down to December and January football, we fold because we never put ourselves in those type of positions. We never learn from those type of positions because we just don't do the right thing. That don't make sense. You kick the field goal, and now they're driving with pressure on them. Teams react different with the pressure zone. I'm trying to understand. When the pressure's on, now let's see how Marcus Mariota, how he plays now. Right? Let's see how our defense react now that the pressure's on, because now they're playing with house money at that time. It's a tie game. We now all the momentum is against them, right? Because not all the momentum is with them, because they just came up with a crucial 4th and goal stop to preserve the game. And now they're like, hey, listen, if we don't score, we got now you got overtime. The mindset, the play calling, everything is different in that situation. Everything is different. And you put that pressure on them. You have to see that. Take the points, man. Every time. I'm going to keep that same. I will be like that no matter what. You take the points. You take the points. You live with the results, but take the points. That's kind of crazy to me. I've never understood that mindset. I cannot stand analytics. I can't stand it with a passion. It sucks. Because teams are taking common sense out of football. Well, in sports in general. They're just taking common sense out. Because not only are you dealing with a team that's down, and now that they have no timeouts. So now you limit to where they can go. Because if they do 1 or 2 passes across the middle, that's majority of the time right there. Because you got to hurry up, rush to the line, get everybody lined up, and then you got to spike the ball. Boom. You're already down to second and 10. So please, that was terrible. Mike Best, we're gonna get into that a little later, I believe, right? Yeah, Jess. I think we'll talk about that a little later. But I got you, Mike Best. But that was a terrible, terrible decision. I would never agree with that decision. I would never, ever, 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 ever like that type of mindset. No, I won't. So please. But yeah, that was terrible. Mike McDaniel, that was horrible. This wasn't one of your best play callers. That was a terrible decision. So whatever. But yeah, Jess, I couldn't stand that, man.
I just, thought maybe we should touch base on that. But since Mike Best wants to talk about overtime, that actually can go into our next point here. So overtime talk, right? We won the toss. We deferred. How do you feel about that choice to defer the ball? Because I know Mike Best had asked a question about possessions and overtime and how that new rule is or whatever. Yes. I believe both teams get possession, and I think somebody else did say that in the chat as well.
Yeah, I see.
And I know my bestie did too.
Green Rat said it, and Game Boy 305 just said it. Thank you for the people that understand the rules. So yes, I wanted to explain that to everyone. This is not. I thought it was 2 years ago, but it was brought to my attention that they just started last year. but I could have sworn it was 2 years ago. But the overtime rules have changed. So now, at first, they just tried it in the playoffs to see if it was going to work out, and then they converted it over to regular season. So in overtime, both teams get a possession. The only way that you don't get a possession is if you score a defensive touchdown. At that point, you don't need a possession because the offense had the opportunity, and then they did a turnover, like let's say a pick six or a fumble recovery for a touchdown. That's it, because they essentially already had the opportunity to score, and your defense scored for you. So that's both teams possessing the ball. So that's the only way that both teams doesn't get an actual offensive possession. But so yes, so let's just say if the Commanders would have went down and scored a touchdown, yes, the Miami Dolphins they would have got an opportunity to respond to that touchdown. So yes, it was after Allen lost to KC in the playoff. Yes, Green Bay. That's when they changed it for the playoffs. But I think it was the year after that they changed it for good for playoffs and regular season. So yes, guys, just to clear that up for everyone, both teams have an opportunity to possess the football, and go for two, right, Green Rat? So just so y'all know. So in that situation, you do, if it's me, and I think you always want to go on defense first. You put the pressure on them to either score, or because if you stop them and they punt the ball, all we got to do is kick a field goal. Now we don't have to go down there and get a touchdown. All we have to do is kick a field goal and game is over. Or if our defense get a turnover and score, game over. So yes, it's kind of like the mentality in college. Whenever both teams get an opportunity, you always want to see what you have to do first. Right? Now, you might have some teams that get extra aggressive. Like I say, if you got a Patrick Mahomes, you were like, well, I want to put the pressure on them because I believe Patrick Mahomes will go down there and score a touchdown to put the pressure on the opposing team. But from me and my standpoint, you always defer. Always. So you know what you got going on. You coach your players up. All you need, you tell your defense, hey, all we need is stop. Just give us one stop. Give us the opportunity to score. And that's it. So, yes, for people that think it's crazy because y'all thought that one score wins the game, no, that is no longer the rule. Both teams get an opportunity to possess the ball. So that is not one of the decisions that I'm going to kill Mike McDaniel on, because, yes, he made the right decision by by deferring first in overtime. So, yes, I hope that clears that up for everyone. If Washington scored a touchdown, we could score a TD and go for two and win. Oh, yeah, that is another option, Green Rat, if you want to be aggressive. But hopefully that clears it up for everyone in the chat. No, that wasn't a bonehead decision. No, he wasn't like in La La Land and not knowing the rules. That was actually a time or a situation where he actually knew the rules and he was taking advantage of him putting our team in the best of a best position to win. And we were. Listen, we got the turnover, and boom, all we had to do is kick a field goal. This is why you defer. Because now that the defense stopped them, we didn't have to score a touchdown. You just kick a field goal and game over with. And you don't go back and forth. I knew they got possession for both teams, but I thought if they kicked a field goal, then the other team gets the ball. But it used to be the first team scored touchdowns. Yes, it used to be like that, Mike Beth, but no, they completely changed it to both teams get a possession. Right? Shout out to KP. KP say, I agree, Mike McDaniel did make I think he means the right decision in OT, and it played out that way too. Yes, it did. It played out that way. So yes, just to clear it up. So now, Mike Beth, you're aware of the rules. Yes, both teams get an opportunity to possess the football in overtime. I guess that made it fair all around. And yeah, so there you go. Okay, there you go. Appreciate. No problem, Mike Beth. He said thanks. I didn't know that. Thanks for teaching me that. Yes. So now you're aware of the new rules. Jess, what do you thought? You thought that was Did you like that decision, or would you like for them to be more aggressive?
No. I would have deferred the ball anyways, only because I feel like if they did come off like super aggressive and then the defense just flattened out, I would have been more mad.
Yeah,
I'd rather have the second chance at it anyway. Like, because
Yeah.
like somebody else had said, like, okay, if they score and then we get the ball, go for two. Like let's score and then go for two and be aggressive in that function. I don't know. I don't want to say that I rely more on our defense right now, but I have more faith in them.
Our defense, I'm playing a little bit better than the offense. Even though they let the team drive the football. I mean, the Commanders were driving the football up and down the field, at will, and that wasn't a good signing, a good sight. But hey, I mean, the only thing that really matters is the points on the scoreboard. And albeit, they missed field goals and they went for it on fourth down. That's just the ebb and flow of football. And that's just how the game went that time. So I'm not gonna complain, overdo. I'm not gonna overdo it. It was an ugly win and they didn't look pretty doing it, but they got the job done.
Right.
So I gotta say that. They really got the job done, and I'm sorry. But yeah. That's what it is. We got something else, or that was it, Jay?
I do. I'm glad our game recap was so in depth. Because I feel like there's some people like you see like opposite sides. Some people are like, what a like rough win, and then other people are like, yay, we won 10-7. Like it's like a whole there's no in between. So the whole exact breakdown of it, I enjoyed it today. It was something different. But
2-0 post-year and Lewis a no-show. Yo.
I was going to comment on this earlier because I was keeping track. And I was like,
Green Rat, shout out to you. He said, good show tonight. Appreciate you, my boy.
It's kind of a shout out to my brother, but,
Yeah. Hey, listen. First of all, hold on. I'm the only one gonna take shot at my brother, man. Now, y'all not doing Lou like that. I can take shots at him, but nah, y'all gonna lay off Lou like that. Nah, we not doing that today. I'm sorry, I can't let y'all do my boy like that. Nah. Hey, listen, man.
I'm just saying.
He earned the right to and it's not a no show because we already knew what was going on. So it's not a no show. Nah, y'all gonna I can't do it. For me, I'll go give them hell, but I'll be damned if y'all do that. Nah. We gonna let that. Nah, I ain't letting that slide. I got you today, Lou. This is the only time I got you because I don't want. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one gonna take you around the corner and shoot that fade. Around the building, but I ain't gonna let nobody else do it. You know how they say. I could talk about it, but you can't. The Dolphins for sure.
Don't let them do that to you, Lou.
Vegas next year. Or is it 2027? It's 2027, Mike Best. No,
it's next year.
No, next year. It's next year, Mike Best. We'll see you in Vegas, my boy. That's for sure. We will see. I don't know if Jess gonna come. They be flaking at the end of the time, so I don't know. But me and Lou gonna be there for sure.
Headshot at me today. Okay. Anyway, I was gonna say,
take a shot at my brother. So.
If you listening, Lou, don't let him do that to you. He trying to push you up against the wall. Don't let him do that to you.
Hey, yo, pause. First of all, you ain't gonna do neither one of us like that. What? You the only one be pushing up against walls. Let's get that out in the open. And I'm most definitely
ain't no pushing going on over here, all right? Ain't no pushing up against no wall.
Hey, yo, that is wow. Hey, Lou, just bleep this part out. You didn't hear that part where she said she have lost her mind. We were doing so well with the show. There was no pause-worthy moment, nothing. And you come with that?
Well, we had one in the beginning of the show.
With friends like you who need enemies. Right. You trying to help Lewis out and just destroy them with that one. That was, oh, no. Okay. Nah, you got it. But continue. You do have one more, right? Yeah, one more thing.
I do have one more. So, obviously, after our lengthy, in-depth game recap, after the game meddled into the next morning, our lovely QB1 made some interesting comments. I don't know if you know what we in what is it, the practice facility, wherever, the training facility, we got rid of Pop-A-Shot. We got rid of the slide. And maybe there needs to be wasn't there a slide at one point in time?
Wait, they didn't get rid of the slide. The slide's still there, isn't it?
I thought they got rid of the slide. I don't know.
I don't think
either or. Maybe there needs to be a proposition that a map needs to go up on the wall.
Atlas.
A something. A map or somewhere. Tua made a comment. God. They had asked him in a presser, where would he like to play internationally? Because obviously, as all of us have heard, this Madrid game, this Spain game, might become like a yearly thing for us. It might be a yearly home game for us. And they asked Tua, like, where else would he like to play internationally? I know one comment that he gave was he wanted to play in Hawaii, which, again, proposition for a map. Two, he said he wanted to play in Jerusalem.
Well, that's kind of now when they were trying to save him, because a lot of people don't consider Hawaii America, so you might let them slide off with that.
Who is a lot of people?
I don't know. Some people, but we don't really consider Hawaii like that. Come on, when you think about Hawaii, you don't automatically think United States. Now, when they ask you something like that, you'll be like, no, like we all caught it. We're like, what? Wait, that's still. I was just saying. So they was trying to save him, be like, okay, yeah, but I mean somewhere outside of the U.S. And then he said Jerusalem.
Like
talking about lack of awareness. It's crazy. Did you see what Kenny Stills put?
I was just about to say, so bring back one of my favorite people that played here, did anything here. I know a lot of people are on either side. One of my favorite people did retweet something, regarding this video. And Kenny Stills' actual tweet says, he lacks awareness in all areas of his life.
I get that delusional Patriot fan. Yeah, say it again. Yeah, I get that. Tua has no excuse, right? Delusional Patriot fan, because he grew up there. Mike Best.
Time and place.
Stop.
We're not giving passes for this. To repeat what I said, Kenny Stills retweeted a video of Tua talking about where he wanted to play and whatever, and literally posted and said lacks awareness in all areas of his life.
Mike Best is in the Game Boy 305. Y'all might want to leave doing this part of the last part. Mike Best say he did score 13 on the Wonderlic.
It's like,
why? Oh God, KP, chill, KP.
I'm confused. I'm lost. I don't even have words for this right now, because I'm telling you, it just gets worse. I don't know what it is when he gets to the podium. It's like,
and Eric pointed out something too. Like in OT, he looked like he was lost. He didn't know what to say. In overtime, they had to basically coach him. Like, yeah, you bro. I don't know. You confused, Jess. I'm confused.
I'm confused. You're confused. Everybody's confused. Nobody knows what the hell is going on.
I just want to.
I don't know.
I just want to point out, this is what I was talking about. It's like, win, lose, he finds a way to give everyone something else to talk about. Like, what? Like, this morning, when it was brought to my attention, I say, you're joking, right? They're like, no. And I said, man. And then, shout out to you, but you the one showed me the tweet that he posted. That he said this man lacked awareness in all parts of his life. Like, what?
That's diabolical.
That is diabolical.
In all areas of his life is.
Can we please, like, if this is not a telltale sign to get Tua away from the microphone, I don't know what else is. My brother, just stop. Listen, please. please. Tua, I got every answer to every question when they ask you, because you have to go to the podium. I get it. Every answer to every question.
Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. God bless and good night.
Bro, please. That's all. Listen, or go the Marshawn Lynch route. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like, bruh, do something. But stop answering the question.
Please. Because
just stop.
What are we doing? What are you doing?
Like, it's huh? Just stop, my brother. Don't just leave it alone, man. When they ask you questions,
you know that Kevin Hart meme where he's like, "Help me."
Yeah, help.
He needs a shirt with that says, "Help me." He needs help. He needs guidance on what. I don't know. Like, I don't get it.
He said, "Show me the money," and we know where that come from. Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
But I want to let you know, before that, Mark McGuire said, "Help me, help you." Yeah. I don't know if you remember when he said when Mark McGuire was getting fired and all that, whatever, and he was trying to help him. He was in the bathroom. I mean, now they was in the kitchen, and yo, I ain't gonna lie, the way that Cuba Gooding Jr. laughed at him, that was diabolical. He was like, "Help me, help you, Tua, help us, help you, my brother. Just stop, just please stop, man, cause it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. Just don't answer questions anymore. Don't like." At the poor, what's the lady that's the PR lady that's like just keep him away from the podium. They need to create an AI version for his presses, like for real.
They're
for real. Yeah, Jerry Maguire, yes sir. That is just ridiculous. I just it's something. He never ceased to amaze me, but it's not in a positive way. It's always like, how do you find ways to continuously say something that just help people at all? The revolver goes to the chat. That, you know what that do, Pablo? It goes to the chat because they've been killing that boy. But he finds a way to say things worse than what he initially said. Like it's a problem, and it's just like, why? It's mind-boggling to me, and I'm sorry, but take the microphones away. He needs to have pre-written answers, facts. Just be quiet. CTE is kicking in early. It's sad. It's sad to say. I don't know. I don't even know if that's CTE. Like, y'all, like, he's a communication major. Like, what do they teach you at Alabama? That's the worst part. You're a communication major. I don't get it. To me, it just I don't know what to say. But listen, man, I don't want to hop on that because we had a nice show. Can y'all please hit that like button? If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to all y'all. That revolver does go to the chat. Shout out to everybody that was rocking with us. Y'all make sure, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't let just cloud your judgment. My boy Lou did have something really, really, really important to do today. Work called, you know, and when work called, hey, you got to, when you get paid to be the boss, you got to take them own calls. To them tests, you said someone to them, so basically saying someone to them tests, probably take them tests, yeah. Thanks, guys. Miss Talk, I'm back. Miss Talk, yeah. Yeah, Mike Benson, we most definitely see you next year in Vegas. We will be Miss talking to y'all. Okay. Jess, you got anything before we get up out of here?
No.
Oh no. Appreciate y'all. We will be back. Hey, I think I'm like 90% sure, but we will be bringing back the film breakdown on Wednesdays. I'm starting to see a lot of people. I had talked to Lou and Jess about it. So, hey, we might go ahead, you know what I'm saying, and bring them film breakdowns. I really like to get into that film breakdown. Unfortunately, it might be for this game, and it's kind of bad. But yeah. So hopefully we see y'all good stuff tonight. Look forward to a messy space tomorrow. If you know, Eric. But yeah, man,
what was y'all doing in the space?
Huh?
What was y'all doing in the space? Cutting up about what?
And you know,
spaces
are messy no matter what.
They are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, so we can't, But yeah, man, we here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and every game day we do stream live. It's every part of his life. Yeah, to his life awareness and every part of life. Yeah, CCR. We brought that up by Kenny Stills. Yeah, so we are here live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 8 o'clock, 8-ish. And then we are streaming live every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, whenever the Dolphins play. So y'all make sure y'all come over here and get the live play-by-play from over here. And if y'all haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. And today that revolver do go to the
just
chat.
for beating Mike Best's ass in fantasy.
Hey yo, Mike Best. That's kind of wild. Mike Best. Yeah, that revolver goes to Jess. Bang, bang, bang. Did you guys mention Herbert terrible performance yesterday in space? It might Game Boy 305. But yeah, man, we'll see y'all Wednesday. Hopefully for the film breakdown, man. Y'all peace out. We appreciate y'all.